see you all. We've not been open that long actually, we're from Penge. Just so
I knew I hadn't
pronounce
got it right.
No, it is, people do get it wrong. Penge Celebrations, just up on Wilkins Road. Aileen came in and said, having an adult learning week, is that right? Would you like to maybe do some demonstrations? And I said, yes, okay. So it's a learning thing for me as well, so hopefully we'll all go away with something today. Yeah, so I'm Catherine. I won't ask you all your names because I'm not very good with names anyway. But I got getting started. I'm just going to do the basics today. It will be simple. I've had a lot of ladies come in and ask about courses and one thing and another. So at the end, if you feel that you might want to learn a bit more or do anything like that, I've just got a sheet here just to take your name and address, details, telephone number, whatever, and just, you know, see how the land lies with that really, and see if it was something that people would be interested in. I got started. I've baked from being knee-high to a grasshopper with my mum and my grandma. Very traditional, old-fashioned baking. I still do it the traditional old-fashioned way. Still like to cream everything. I only use butter. There's all sorts of stuff out there these days. And they're fine, they're good, you know, packet stuff and what have you. If that works for you, that's good. But I still like to stick to the traditional ways of baking cakes. There's some fantastic books, I have to say, for different recipes these days and all sorts of stuff you can do. So I would encourage you to take some of these books out, hire them out, and not hire them, you just lend them out, don't you? And have a look. Got some cupcakes done. I wasn't sure how many people were going to be coming actually, but there is enough. They're all a bit different, so you can have a go at maybe at the end decorating one, and you can take that away with you if you so wish. Yeah.
That's all good comfort.
Yeah.
I had a plan all along.
Take it home or eat it on your way home. Don't tell anybody you've got one. That's up to you. But first, I'm just going to show you how to. I just go through different fondants first of all. We call it sugar paste in England. Americans call it fondant. I found out if you ever watch any of the YouTube videos and stuff, very good place actually to get some really good ideas. But you just have to put up with their accents. So there's. I like Renshaw's Regal Ice. I usually use that. It's a good quality one. It is probably one of the most expensive, but it is good. Tastes nice. You can work well with it. But like I said, there's all sorts. Even for practicing, or if you do with the children or whatever. Even something like Tesco's do their own, and I've found that that's quite a good one. Some are better than others, and it's finding what you like. But for me, I use Renshaw's. So that's sugar paste. And we use that for covering cakes, covering boards, doing that sort of thing, and doing your decorations. The other kind of thing is you start getting decoration on your cake. All sorts of different things. Modelling paste, if you want to be making figures and teddies, models, that's you can make your own, you can buy it in packets, but it is quite expensive. Just get it in a little packet and it can be something like £4 for a little bit. So I make my own, put my own colouring in, and to make modelling paste, you use a thing called, again I like to use the natural stuff, which is gum trigant, and it just makes it thicker. You can feel the difference when you touch it, stretchier, and it allows you to just model really and roll and put things into shape. It's quite warm and my hands are warm, so it can go a bit tacky. I'm going to pass it round, but it just doesn't, it's a bit tacky, so I'm not going to bother you, just don't get sticky. So that's like a modelling paste that you're using for doing teddies, elephants, people, or whatever. Also, I use a little bit of that if I'm going to start doing flowers and putting bows on things. It just gives it a bit more structure, and it makes it just that bit more pliable and stretchy. Doesn't crack. And then there's flour paste, sugar flour paste. Americans call it gum paste. Now that is really, again, it's very warm in here today, and I've probably needed it as well, so it's not as hard as it might be. But you can roll this very, very thin if you want to start making flowers, especially if you get onto, there's a good book over there actually, that will show you how to do the flowers with the cutters, and make them look like real flowers. You can do some amazing stuff, and that's what you'd use, the flower paste. Again, it is quite expensive to buy. You can make your own. But
When you say make your own, is it or from basic, or can you like work on the ordinary?
yeah, work on your sugar paste,
Yeah.
definitely. I don't think many people would even make their own sugar paste these days because you can buy it in such good quantities and reasonably priced as well. That's not, so if you use something like Tylose powder, that's a man-made one. And I've brought it to show you, but I tend not to use that so much. Like I say, the Gumtree Gamp is more of a natural one. The thing with the Tylose powder, you can use that straight away. Like if you wanted to start making flowers and things, that you can feel it go thick as you're working it. Whereas this one, the Gumtree Gamp, it's best to leave it overnight and then start with it the day after. And you can feel, it's really quite hard. So that's sort of a sugar paste, but that's a lot. Again, all sorts of colours and things. Baking went out of fashion some years ago, and I think you were considered a bit of a nerd if you baked and did stuff. No, you weren't. It was all you just bought things, didn't you, and muffins and all this kind of thing. And this last 5 years, I'd say, it's really come back into its own. And you're quite trendy these days, ladies, if you want to know about baking. Yeah. So that's good. So there's all sorts in the supermarkets now. At one time, there was not very much, but even that you can get all sorts. You can buy the colours. I tend to, again, colour all my own stuff. So you can get your colouring in these little pots. I'll just pass that around. You can see. Don't open it. It's a bit runny, and believe me, once it goes everywhere. In fact, you've touched it already. You do. You get it. It does. Put my hands on that pin. Always got coloured hands. Yeah, I've got home with green hands, blue hands, all sorts of things. But that's good. A tiny little bit on a cocktail stick, and you just knead it in, and it soon gets your colours. Obviously, the more you put in, the stronger your colours. I've done some disasters with that in my time. Now a little bit, and I'll add a bit more. So I'm just going to show you how to, just very basic today. Just to cover a board and a cake. Okay. Polystyrene. It's great for practising with. I was contemplating bringing a cake, but it's better, and I'm glad I didn't. It's so warm in here. The better done. Once you've cut and filled them, put them in the fridge, let them go hard, and then you can keep the shape. Otherwise, when you start, you'll see what I'm doing, and it's not as easy. So I've just put polystyrene today to it'll give you an idea. It's really cold in my shop, so everything's always really hard, and I have to knead it for ages. It's very warm.
Yes, tropical in here.
It does.
Too much glass.
I'm not sure that
Well, you said about the wind level from about 8:30 in the morning, but obviously they're only just come in.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm a bit scared of it.
Oh. Loads of different colours, and mixing colours, and especially if you're an artist, you'll know that. You can get all sorts of things. We're very regulated in this country with what we can use. Americans have some wacky stuff, some fluorescent things, and we're just not allowed to use it, which probably isn't a bad thing for children anyway. I usually just do this one here. I'm going to, I have antibac on this table, by the way, but I'm just going to stick this board and stop it from sliding. I'll tell you after.
Oh, you're all right.
I won't be sticking to you, but sure. See around the back of my counter, it's always covered, the floor, and me, I go home absolutely covered. I have a really bad habit as well of wiping my hands off my bottom. And where I work, I used to work in the shop in St Anne's, and they purposely let me go home like that, so I would be walking down the street with 2 big hand marks on my bottom, which I didn't think was very funny. So, bit different than you would pastry. Just best to do it, roll it in one direction, and then turn and keep it, and just roll it on one side on pastry.